morning, Fish Fam, Fish Tube, TGA, YouTube Alliance of Fish Tank Talk, all of you lovely, wonderful people. Fish Fam Mom here, Susan for SLC Aquatics. As I promised on Facebook, I am bringing you along in my fish room to do a couple projects today and to be honest and admit that I did some terrible terrible things to my fish. They're still alive, but they're struggling. First of all, being impulsive in life and being impulsive in the fish keeping hobby can be two different things. In one way, it can be very detrimental to the path of life that you are, traveling on these days. But in the fish room, impulse buying, impulse decisions usually comes with a price. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. As you see this 29, it's cloudy. One day I decided that I was going to disconnect the hang-on back filter and reconnect the sponge filter that had been in there for months, collecting beneficial bacteria, yes, but not having any airflow in it. The beneficial bacteria that was on it was probably not very useful. It was more polluting the tank than it was actually keeping the tank cycled. So I knew better, but impulsively I had a free air pump and just decided to hook it up. Next time, if I hook up a sponge filter that's been sitting in my aquarium for months and not having airflow through it, I will leave the hang on the back filter going while the beneficial bacteria recultivates on the sponge. That would have been wisdom. Then one day I noticed that the fish were kind of like distressed, coming to the top. The cory cats were swimming all over the place. So I decided, turn the hang on the back filter back on. Bad decision. All of that beneficial bacteria that was in the filter has now decayed. So what I was doing was dumping ammonia into the aquarium. I had to do an emergency 50% water change. I left the hang on the back filter running for a couple days, and of course I should have taken the hang on the back filter off, cleaned it out, and put new seeded media in there. The things we live and learn. One day I'm going to be a pro at this. Nah, I doubt it. But I'm learning every day. I thank God that I did not lose any fish. And even though this tank is still murky, it's due to the excess stress zyme that I added after a water change. It causes it to have kind of like a bacterial bloom, and it will help the sponge filter cultivate, but I have to keep my water changes up or I will cause ammonia and nitrite spikes. So come along with me as I do a solution. Nope, this is an EX30. So I took it out of the 20 gallon that I sold to Rick at BAM Aquatics, and she's been sitting like this with the old filter media in it and everything. So I'm going to take the old filter media out. I'm going to wash it really well, and if there's any carbon in it, I'm going to cut it open and remove the carbon and fill it with just some polyfill. So off to the kitchen to clean it up. Okay, I've washed out the Tetra EX30 and I decided to go ahead and put a media bag inside of the filter media right here. I don't know if you can see it or not very good lighting, but I did that, and I will add water, aquarium water, into this once I get it mounted on the back of the aquarium. And all right, I'm sorry, here we go, got it mounted. I want to add a little aquarium water to the filter to prime it. I'm going to lock that down so you can see what I'm seeing. How do you know when you get too much water? Well, don't worry about overflowing, because it usually doesn't overflow this area right here. It will come out the waterfall feature or the output of your filter. And it's starting to flow now. And remember to have a loop in your cord. I do have some water flow going through the hang on the back filter. As you see, the gold gourami likes that fresh water flowing. So this is a lesson learned that I have in my fish room, and if you wanted to share some of the lessons you've learned in your fish room, it will help someone else out. So don't beat yourself up. If you have power outage for over a couple hours, you know the beneficial bacteria in your filter is going to begin to die. So if you can get your water aerated, you won't lose too much beneficial bacteria. But like in my scenario, my filter was off for days. I didn't think before I turned it back on that I was going to be dumping loads of ammonia back into the water column. So my advice to you is to remember, if your filter media has having beneficial bacteria die off, either clean your filter before turning it back on, or put new seeded media in it. Take the old media out and throw it away. And I just hope that you learned with me, and I wanted to invite you that if you like this content, why not subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't lose any information that I should post. Click that like button or dislike, but if you click the dislike, leave a comment and tell me why. Have a great day, and I love you.